In today's video, we are going to be breaking down how Bradley Beal shoots the basketball, and by breaking down how he shoots the basketball, we can now learn how to shoot the basketball better ourselves. Let's check Bradley Beal's basketball shooting form out. Okay, so the first thing that I like to look at is where does he gather the ball? And Bradley Beal gathers the ball in front of his hips, and then we start going up from the base of the feet all the way up to his fingertips. And what we see from his feet is that he tilts his feet towards the left side, but he is able to now stay on his toes as well, which is going to give him a quick acceleration up into his shooting form. And this is very important. The faster you can get up off the ground, the faster your release is going to be. We also notice in his shot that once he gets leveled out, his right knee actually crosses his body, his right shoulder is in front of his left, and also the same for his hips. His left knee is also out past his shoulder, so right now, by looking at this form, we would automatically assume that his shot would actually hit the left side of the rim quite often. However, this is when his momentum is bringing him in this direction. As we can see, if we were to rewind this clip, he is running or dribbling towards his right side, and then he collects that ball. Now, when he is not moving in this momentum or this direction, we still do see that he tilts his foot, but he doesn't tilt his body as much. And we can see that from this clip here, when he is shooting straight on towards the net or he doesn't have any sideways momentum, what happens is he still does have a slight tilt to his feet, and his knees do come together, but they are both facing the rim. But still, his left knee is on the left side of his shoulder, and that's outside of his squared up stance, and same as his right knee is actually left of his right shoulder. So we would automatically assume that that ball would still be tempted to go towards the left side because his body is essentially facing that left side. However, what we do see is that his shoulders are in line with his knees, in line with roughly the middle to the balls of his feet. From there, we do notice that he is using a lot more of his left leg strength than his right leg. Now, this could have been from a prior injury. Like myself, I put a lot more strength and weight on my left leg because I've torn my ACL, and of course, I've got more power in my left leg as of right now, but I am personally working on that. Now, when he brings the ball up from his collection point all the way up to his set point, what we do see is that his elbow does not bend. You really want to cut down on how much movement you have in your shot because it allows you to be more consistent. So what we do see is that the hinge that he has is in his shoulder, and then once it's up top, that is when he starts slightly bending his elbow. But when he gets up to his set point, we do notice that from his body to his upper arm, that's a 90-degree angle. And we see roughly a 90-degree angle at his elbow, maybe slightly more bent than 90, but it's pretty close. And then we see another 90-degree at his wrist. This is going to give him a quick release. Let me explain why. So many players will have a 45-degree angle on their elbow, and that's an extra 45 degrees that needs to be unbent or straightened to shoot that ball. And even though that's only milliseconds, thousandths of a second even, that is still a lot of time when you're trying to get that shot over a defender. So as a shooter yourself, if you can try to be able to have as much of a 90-degree angle on your elbow, the faster your shot's going to be. But keep in mind, not everybody can shoot like that. We even see what I was mentioning earlier about the left leg. He's actually putting a lot more power and strength through that left leg, and we can see this because his right leg actually removes or lifts from the ground before his left, which means that he's putting a lot more strength and power into his left leg, which again sometimes tends to now push your body back towards the right side. And because of that, now the cross momentum of the left is maybe now outweighing or equaling out to the fact that he is now lifting off from the left leg, which then creates a straight momentum up, potentially. Of course, this is all potentials at this point. Now, when he has been lifted up into his shot, we do see that his hips on both the right and left side are straight towards or square towards the rim, which means that they're roughly the same distance from the rim, and same as his knees. So that angular momentum doesn't last long until he releases or gets up into his set point, and that is when he starts straightening out towards the rim. However, that left shoulder is still slightly back. What we do notice at his set point is that his set point seems to be in the middle of his forehead, which then tells me that he is focusing more with his right eye. His offhand is straight up on the ball, and then when he starts to go up and release that ball, he does not have a thumb flick, as what we may have thought he may have, considering that his body is offset. Sometimes having a thumb flick when your body is angled towards this side allows you to have a straight shot. However, by using more of your left leg power, that is now equaling out that cross on your shot, so that now when you go up for your shot, you're pretty well squared towards the basket. He has no thumb flick, and then he's able to release that ball with his elbow above his eyes, or even above his forehead in this case, which is going to give him a lot of arc on his shot, which is extremely important if you're looking for a consistent shot. We also do notice that this clip is a bit hard because of the frame rate is a little bit off when it comes to the release, but in another clip, we do notice that the ball does go off his middle finger. And this is the clip that we can see it in. We can see that that ball last touches that middle finger, which is extremely important, especially if you want a straight shot. And what I mean by this is, from the backwards frame of him shooting, we can see that his shoulder is in line with his elbow, which is going to give him a straight shot. The ball is over top of the elbow, which is again straight, which is going to allow him to have a straight shot. Even though your body is extremely important when it comes to your shot, what is also very important is your arm. What is your arm doing? Is it aimed towards the rim? Is it aimed left or right? This is all very important, and this is, in my opinion, more important than anything else on your body. However, sometimes you have to keep in mind what your body does. You have to now compensate up here into your arms for what your body is doing. We can also confirm from the reverse angle that he does not have a thumb flick like Steph Curry or Kyrie Irving. And for his set point, we do notice that his arm is pretty well at a 90-degree angle. I'm not going to say that that's a 45, that's more like a 80-ish degree angle, which is going to give him a very quick release. We also see from this angle that he does have a space between his palm and the ball. I hope that this video has helped you become a better three-point shooter. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys again next time.